Hey, hello everybody, welcome back to another game pickups video here on How to Lose Your Video Games. This is for July of 2023, and my god, it's very, very hot and very, very rainy, but very, very hot, and I'm going to try and do this quick because I'm in my kitchen, which is not where the AC is, and I'm sweating. And anyway, I have this thing in my lap right here. This is the first thing that we're going to talk about. I got another Countercade because I have a problem. This is the Marvel Superheroes two-person Countercade. I think they're all... Marvel would have to be two people. There's no X-Men on this. Marvel Superheroes. So this was cool because I didn't have any arcade one-ups, anything like that had a arcade, like a fighting game on it. I didn't want the Mortal Kombat because the old Kombats are janky as hell, and they're not as good as like a game that you want to like keep playing for a long time. Not to me, at least. But Marvel Superheroes here. It doesn't have MVC2. I did actually just see yesterday that they're redoing the MVC2 cabinet. So if you wanted to get a cabinet that has Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on it, like, keep an eye out because they're doing that again. I don't think they're doing a Countercade, so it's going to be full. But that's a big one. I don't really need that because I'm not like the expert on fighting games or anything like that, and I'm not like really like tied to memories or anything like that of how good MVC2 is. I know that it's good. But what we have here is we've got three fighters, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men versus Street Fighter, and the first Marvel vs. Capcom, which I previously had on Dreamcast. It is still really good. And then it also has the Punisher, and I think the thing about the Punisher being on there is really, to me, was the kicker for being like, oh yeah, I feel like that's a really good one to get, because as much as I'd say, like, I understand and I agree with the idea of, like, you don't want to get an arcade machine that's a beat-em-up or, you know, something that you can beat. Like, stuff like The Simpsons, especially on the arcade one-ups. Because if you beat it, you'll look at it and you'll go, well, I already beat it. So, like, but having the good fighting games and then also having something that's not a fighting game in a game that I don't really have access to, I think you have to get, like, the Genesis port of that game, which is really expensive. Excuse me. But, yeah. That's a good little unit right there. I think that's a good mix of games, and I'm pretty happy about it. What the hell? Okay, anyway. Moving on to actual games, though. Not, more arcade one-ups. Emulator machines in little boxes. We'll start with, this is very silly and stupid. We're already so past this, and I knew that this would happen, but I just think it's so interesting. This is Treasures of the Deep for the PS1. It was a game that I always kind of like wanted to get, and I ended up getting like a lot of games like it, like Everblue and Endless Ocean, and even kind of a little bit the game that I'm playing right now that we'll get to later, but not really. That's more of a fishing game. But Treasures of the Deep, the thing that really got me was the Ocean Gate thing. I just think this is insane that this looks so much like it, and it even references the Titanic. It's the fact that you go down in these little subs, sort of like the James Cameron one. The one that they should have been doing, the actual good one. It just has so much, like, I felt like I had to pull the trigger on it for this. It seems so silly now that we're at, like, the end of July 2023, but it's just the way that, like, I always wanted that game anyway. We've got, on the PC, we've got 4 first-person shooters, some boomer shooters and stuff here. My partner actually got me this for my birthday, Turok 2, for the PC, because you can't have enough copies of Turok 2. That would be my 3 N64 cartridges, Game Boy Color, and now I have it for the PC, and of course Switch. So, possibly the game that I own the most at once right now. Not the game I've bought the most or gotten the most, but easily the game that I have the most of at one time right now. And then just boomer shooter heaven right over here. This is Rise of the Triad Dark War. Just a lot of these ones that didn't really come to consoles at the time, just to like add to the collection. We got Heretic II. So I got most of like the Hexen franchise, and this one's actually weird because this is not really a first person shooter. It's like a 3D like over the shoulder type. Yeah, so I look at Heretic and I go, oh, boomer shooter. It's actually not. It's the least like that of the franchise. And we have Blood. And, I mean, it has a lot in common with Dusk. This is the shareware CD version of Blood. Just, yeah, awesome. Awesome stuff. We got 2 PS5 games, and actually this is where I'll bring up, I got a couple of these games here this month from, this is, if you follow a Cheap Ass Gamer, you've already seen this, and I just saw it again today that they had some different stuff on there, but this company, Woot, now an Amazon company, I don't know what the deal is with they're gonna, like, probably just destroy that company and absorb it and continue on with it like the amorphous blob that they are at Amazon, but they had, like, buy 2 get a third free on some pretty solid titles. I'll mention it when there's other ones that come up. There's a couple of them in here, some Switch ones. But I got these 2 in a buy 2 get 1 free deal on. It also makes it a lot better that these are some of the games I got. Vampire Masquerade Swansong, which I know is supposed to be garbage. It's not Bloodlines. It's not great. It's not anything like that. Although I have seen, since people have been picking it up on the cheap, that they say it's not that bad. I'm interested in it, and this was $5 in that deal, so this was a free game easily, and it was priced at $5. So, yeah, it's not Bloodlines, it's not any of those other games, but it's a silly little $5 PS5 game. And then Warhammer, there's a lot of stuff going on with Warhammer right now in the games market, and this is Shootas, Blood, and Teef, like a run and gun, like Metal Slug type of game. Looks awesome. I would have got this for the Switch if it wasn't for that deal. The Switch one wasn't in it. But I'm not super invested in this one as much as I am in like 6 weeks. Bolt Gun, an actual like boomer shooter in the Warhammer universe, is supposed to be getting physical, so it should be coming out in September, and that's when I'll get to play it. And that I really would have wanted on the Switch, and I'm getting it for the Switch, so that's gonna be awesome. This here, not so much a new game, just a version that I found out existed for the Mafia games. This is Mafia Trilogy in a 3-pack that was released in Europe as this physical. So this would be the only way to get Mafia 2 physical on PS4, but 1 and 3, obviously, those exist already on PS4 and Xbox One, and yeah, I just wanted this. I think this was like $25 for the package, so traded in my 1 and 3. I still have 2 in a really weird triple pack on the 360, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, because I think all of them are redundant, except for the one I actually own it for, which is The Darkness 2, which is one of my favorite games. So, let's see what I have to do with that. This is another one from Woot. This is Psychonauts 2, the Mother Lobe edition, with the, you get your lenticular slipcover here, which had a bunch of stickers, like, stickers on the slipcover. It ruined it. It's all sticky and everything, and peeled off. That really bothered me. But stickers and all other physical goodies. Just glad that this eventually came out and I was able to get something with this on a physical without having to be Xbox, because obviously this is an Xbox Studios release. It says it right here. But yeah, Psychonauts is awesome, and a full like sequel to it. I definitely wanted that. Definitely one that I'd say I'm glad I'm waited on, because, like I said, I got that on the Woot thing, and it's like $30. You can still grab that if you're in the same boat as me and you wanted that, especially on PS4. One more PS4 game here. This one's a lot of fun, too. Alright, we got Dark Pictures Anthology number 4 and quote-unquote Season 1 finale. I don't know why it have to be seasons. They come out at the same time every year. And now there's 4 of them, and it's the Season 1 finale, I guess. But this is The Devil in Me. I actually been wanting to grab this for a while, and I would have got it on PS5, but the PS4 one was cheaper, and I'm downloading the PS5 version to play it anyway. Because I don't have room on my PS4 external hard drive anyway. It's a whole storage situation thing, but I'm playing the PS5 version no matter what. And this is really cool. This is the one I was the most interested in concept-wise, because it's about the H.H. Holmes murder castle. So the idea that H.H. Holmes murder castle, the real thing, is no longer standing, and but someone made a replica of that, so obviously that's not going to go well. But you have some documentary filmmakers that are your main cast, that they go to this place. And obviously some bad things happen. Like, that's not... that. Why would you go there? Why would you... Alright, anyway. This is in the PS5 right now, though. That's one of the 2 games in these stacks that I'm currently playing. But I'm really liking it so far. It's on pace to be the best one of the first 4 of them. Although I haven't played the first one, it's supposed to be not great. So I can pretty confidently say it's going to be one of the top 2 for me, I think. We have 2 PS2 games. You got Onimusha, Dawn of Dreams. Finally picked up this last, main series title of the Onimusha games. Adding now to the complete 4 titles in that series. I have not really played any of them. And it's one of those ones on the short list of, like, I need to play this. I need to play a game in this series to decide, like, should I, get on it and play the whole thing? Because I probably will really like it. But this is the weird Dawn of Dreams one. It's the, like, co-op, 2 characters split up mode. Which follows the... I don't remember how they do it in 3, but Jean Reno is in that one, so there's 2 characters in that too. This is also a 2-disc game. Wild, so... yeah, it's very Resident Evil inspired, but, like, in feudal Japan. If you haven't, like, played any of the Onimushas, it's something I feel like I'd be, like, really into. I never managed to pull the trigger, because I have the first one on original Xbox, which is, like, its complete edition. And so I haven't gone and played that, and then 2, 3, Dawn of Dreams, and then there's a weird fighting game that I don't have, because I don't think it's supposed to be very good. But at least I have them all now. I have all the important ones. And we've got a wrestling import, All-Star Pro Wrestling 2, with Keiji Muto, and I forget who that is over there on the cover. It's because I'm on the spot and I forget shit like that. But this has New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, and 01. And it's published by Squaresoft. Or Square Enix, I should say. It says Squaresoft on the front, Square Enix on the back. But yeah, cool. Nice, complete import wrestling game that I hadn't seen before. You might think I'm done, but I'm reaching over to grab the other stack. Because we haven't talked about any Switch games. We'll get to them, they'll be last. We've got an N64 cartridge. Obviously, not like I don't have it, but I got the gray Scooby-Doo Classic Creep Capers. I'm actually not that far from getting all the gray cartridges. It's just that the ones that are left are really expensive, and also not for games that I'd really want to. Like, I don't want Bassmasters. I definitely don't want Aiden Chronicles. There's Hydro Thunder, but Hydro Thunder, even the regular one, is expensive now. So I can't imagine. I've never seen the gray Hydro Thunder. As much as I love that game, I don't think I need it. Wait, I think I might have actually seen the gray Hydro Thunder this past year or so, but anyway. Not worth it, not worth it. Got a Tinstar for the Super Nintendo. I've actually been meaning to pick up this game for a long time. I've heard a lot of really good things about it. It's technically a Super Scope game, but it's not a Super Scope exclusive game. But then you kind of think of it and say, well, if it's supposed to be for the Super Scope, how is it going to be fun? It's actually supposed to be really good, even with the controller. It's a very, very creative and very well mixed variety of gallery shooting. So I've heard some really good stuff about it. I've got technically two Nintendo games. They're both hockey games for the original Nintendo /Famicom. I'm just going to bring up that I got this one because I got this game, which technically meant I had all the other NES hockey games, so the only reason I got this, Wayne Gretzky Hockey, which is supposed to be not good. I don't think it's good. I tried it for a little bit, and I always was like, yeah, I don't think so, and everybody else seems to agree it's not very good. But this is, THQ ported the first of, a series of, 3, I want to say, Amiga or maybe Commodore licensed hockey games. So we only got this one. It's not great. Completion's sake only. And then this. This is weird. This is weird on so many levels. This is USA Ice Hockey in FC, published by Jalico. Now, what this is in the United States is Pro Sport Hockey, which is a game that came out in 1993 for both the NES and the Super Nintendo. I've had the Super Nintendo version for a long time. It's not special. It's not expensive. It's a fine game. It's okay. It's no NHL by EA series. But then this on the NES is a really expensive one because, as you can imagine, it came out in '93. It's not very common, but it's also great. And I can confirm that because I tried this when I brought it home, and I was like, I want to see if it's any good, like people have been saying. This is awesome for an NES hockey game. It's surprisingly deep. It's got supposed to have rosters, supposed to have NHL licensed rosters, which I was like, well, they're not going to have that in this. Except that I was led to believe that they actually would have NHL licensed rosters or NHLPA rosters, because you can't. It's not going to focus very well. But there's a screenshot here that says Jeremy Roenick on it. And there's another one that says Steve Larmer in this one right here, I can tell. So I was like looking at it before I got home, and I put it in, and I was like, are they going to have the NHLPA roster in here? And I come to find out that no, they don't at all. And even those screenshots are not from this version. They're not from the Japanese version that doesn't have those, because even Jeremy Roenick is just not in it. He's 27 on the Blackhawks, but it's somebody else's name. So they did that, but they did do a really cool job of doing they don't have the NHL license, so they do all the fake, like, close team names and stuff, and the gameplay is really fast, and it's really, really good. I can't believe that this is something that I came across complete. This was like $40. Like, it's not a cheap game even to get this, like, Famicom version of it complete. But yeah, it's Jellicoe. Oh, you can see, like, on the back there, that's very much looks like EA Sports NHL. I think NHL Hockey, like the 91 version that doesn't have the NHLPA in it, very much informed the design for this game on the NES and Super Nintendo. And maybe on the Super Nintendo it doesn't come off as anything special, but on the NES it's something else. It's really cool. So I went on for a long time about that because this is one of the, like, weirdest things that I picked up in a long time. So yeah, that's glad I got to talk about that. And then we'll pick up with, finish out with Switch games. Blossom Tales 2, The Minotaur Prince. This is a Zelda-ish top-down adventure game that's supposed to be really, really good. I haven't played the first one, but I know people are really, really into it, and it got a limited run release, so I picked up the second one here. It's also from Playtonic, the ukulele folks. We've got, I got Outbreak Collection 1 last month, and I'm just, like, going all in on getting this series before I even find out if I like it at all. It's Outbreak Contagious Memories, which is one of the later ones. It's more full 3D style one. Which is, like, if you remember the collection, the first one, which is the first one in the collection, is like a top-down, like, it's still a retro style, but everything else is a lot closer to, like, an actual, at least PS1 or PS2 era Resident Evil or Silent Hill game. Espgaluda II. I believe that's how you say it, because this is a game in the same series as Masquerade Psy. So it's a cave shooter. It's got, like, a fantasy aspect to it. I wasn't going to grab this because I did get Dodonpachi Resurrection, like, last month. But I decided, like, I had to pull the trigger on whatever gets a physical. I have to grab it. But the Switch, man, my Switch wish list is loaded with, like, all these shooters that are, like, arcade ports that would have been, like, on the Saturn or the PS1 in Japan. And it's just like, as soon as they go on sale, it's like, boom, I pick them up. But if it gets a physical, like Espgaluda, Dodonpachi, or like RayStorm and RayCrisis HD Collection, these are on the Saturn and PS1, like I was saying. Yeah, but Einen is doing a really good job. A lot of these cool retro enhanced games are going through Einen, which I'm very appreciative of. So we've got some shooters this month. These are the Taito series shooters. Really cool stuff. We've got, this was also from the Woot.com sale. This is Time on Frog Island. This is on, I think, like, everything right now. And I wasn't, like, dying to play this or dying to grab it. It's just that it's, like, it looks adorable. It's got all kinds of frogs and stuff over there. On Frog Island is where I mean. Over there on Frog Island. I keep saying that. It's like, well, we've got to go to Frog Island. It sounds amazing. Explore at your own pace, solve interesting. I think it's like a big fetch quest, like adventure game, where you're just getting items for people and solving puzzles. It just looks adorable. So, Wreckfest. This is the continuation of Flat Out, basically. Flat Out, anything else by Bugbear, these guys right here that do the like demolition derby type of stuff. Really cool. It doesn't look the best on the Switch to me, but I still really enjoy the gameplay and stuff. It's kind of all over the place. It's got like any type of like down and dirty like backyard, or like not on the up and up racing style series with like crashing into people, because like the first event you play is like a lawnmower demolition derby, so it's pretty all over the place, but it's exactly the type of stuff that I like for driving games, because you just crash into people mostly. So yeah, that's cool. And lastly, oh my god, I can't put this game down. This is Dredge. It's published by Team 17. It is a fishing, but not like a sport fishing game. It's more like a management, like time management and exploration game with cosmic horror. Because you're going around, you're in like this dingy, like far off, like section of ocean with like tiny coastal towns and stuff, and you're just catching fish, and sometimes the fish are gross and mutated and sort of like a mutated freak fish, because you're such a piece of trash, to quote The Rock. Yeah, it's just eldritch horror, like what lurks at the bottom of the ocean, stuff like that. I cannot put this game down because the gameplay loop is so addicting. I keep feeling like I can just go out and do one more thing. Oh, I just gotta go over there and I gotta go find this spot where this fish is, and I can grab that fish and I can do this quest, I can do this mission for this person. Awesome stuff. The characters, the dialogue on the characters is so good because they're so creepy and they're so unsettling. The panic that sets in when you're like out on the ocean and you like your character, if you haven't gotten enough sleep, or you're out too late and you're too far from like land or like the buoys that give off light and stuff. There's so much like I gotta go, like speed up. Don't overpush the engine though, because then your engine will give out. I love this game. This game is so fucking good. And it's just that it's to just say like what I've noticed lately is just perfect for me. I don't think, like, I would say Inscription, one of the best games that I've played in the past couple of years. I couldn't put that game down. I literally played the second half of Inscription in one afternoon, which I never do anymore. Dredge is just like that. It's just a game that, like, even if you don't like it, like, it's just perfect for me. It hits all of the things. It's got a big book of all the fish that you've caught and all the mutations of all the fish, and they really actually upset me. Like some of the mutations, they call them aberrations. Sometimes it might not be natural mutations. We don't know. But yeah, it just really, like, I can't recommend this game enough. But I don't think it's gonna be for everybody. It's a time management game, more or less. And I probably am gonna finish up talking about it, and I'm gonna go play it again because I've got the rest of the afternoon right now. And then there's DLC in this version in this deluxe physical edition. I'm like, I'm gonna finish the main game, and there's gonna be other stuff to do. Is there gonna be another island to go to, another area with different types? Yeah, I'm really about this one. It just lines up with everything. It hits all the notes that I like. Ticks all my boxes. So yeah, that's some pickups. I really went on about a couple of games right there that are just like, this was meant to come into my hands so that I could experience it. USA Hockey and FC and Dredge on the Switch. So yeah, there'll be some stuff going on the next month. And there's a month after that, in September, is when some releases are coming, but I don't know what else is going on. We'll just see where we're at next month. I hope you enjoyed me talking about weird games like that.